All right, what's up guys? I'm gonna go over how we're setting up the pit switches here. So first thing, I have all of my channels in here. This is my arm, turtle, beeper, and then this is going to be what is the input to your pit switches. So the 6P is the buttons up here. So to set that, you just kind of go in here and select the source, right click it, and then press around here and it'll auto detect. Once you get that set, we can go to the mixes tab. So this is going to be where we set up like how to get it to go to the right values. So first thing, our source is going to be 8. That's the 8th input that we just set. So if we move this around here, we'll see down at the bottom there for channel 8 it moving. The first thing we're going to do is get that to, instead of moving from -100 up to -24, we're going to go from 0 to 50. So there's going to be 6 values, right? 0 to 50 there, a steps of 10. So let's edit that, and we'll put in, let's see. It might depend based on like what your thing is. So depending on the range that you get, my range here is -100 to -24. So that's 76, right? So do some quick maths, and you take, if you want it to get to a range of 50 from 76, 50 divided by 76, and that'll give us 66. So that's what I'm going to set my weight to. So that means my weight will be, boom. Now you'll see it goes from -66 to -16. Okay. So that's a range of 50, but now it's not offset where we want it to be. So now we're going to offset it by, in this case, let's do 66. So at the lowest value, we want it to be 0. And the highest value, 1 to be 50. Okay, so 0, 9, which is, you know, close enough to 10. We want it to be close to stepping by 10 here. So 9, nearly 20, 30, 40, 50. Okay, step 1. Step 2, we're going to long press, insert after, and this is going to be the switch that we use to select the sets, right? So we have 6 up here, but you know, if you have more than 6 quads, how do you select which set of 6, right? So for me, I'm going to be using the SD switch for that. So since this is a 3 position, we're going to have 3 sets of 6. So our weight here is going to be, weight here is going to be 60. And I'll explain the reason for this. If you want to know the reason, it's kind of a bit detailed, but the main reason is due to how Betaflight is expecting the range to be and how large of steps Betaflight can accept. Since we have a 3-position switch and a 6 position at the top, you know, we have a total of 18, which is hard to get into the modes channels there, so we need to make sure we're lining up perfectly. But these values work out specifically so that on the Betaflight end, this -88 up to the next step is going to be exactly what we want it to be. It's going to be 25 microseconds. So that's just kind of, you know, what we've set up. So next step. So this is our 3 position here. Oops, let me set my source here. Is going to be, actually I should be able to just auto detect this. Okay. So this is my set switch. So I'm selecting between sets. And what you'll see, once I confirm this, we can press our 6 positions here. You'll see it step through, right? And then when I move my set down and go back to 1 here at the top, that's the next one, -28. So before it was my 3 position at the top with number 6, so that's 38. And then we move it to the middle position and press 1 again. Now we're at 28, right? So we're moving by pretty much 10 every single time. Okay. And then the bottom, back to 1, 32, 41, 51, 62, 72, 82, right? Okay. So the last thing is our all off switch slash failsafe switch slash VTX. So this gives us the ability, I'm gonna use this 3 position here. If this switch is up, none of my quads will have any video on or will be armable at all. Middle position, the quads will be armed if they're selected, right? And then bottom position, the quad will be armable and VTX is on, you know, if it's properly selected. I mean, you still have to arm, right? But this just gives you the ability to arm. So let's set that up. Let's go back here. We're gonna insert another after. Okay. So for this, we're gonna select the switch that we're using for that master switch. In this case, it's my SA switch, but you can pick whatever you want. Boom, okay, SA. And now we're going to also need to select the switch position you want it to be for all off. So in this case, I prefer it to be up for all off. And we're going to set multiplex to replace. And what this essentially does is means if this switch is in this position, this switch is overriding the channel completely. So when this switch is all the way up, we're gonna send only the value that this switch is corresponding to. And what we're gonna do with that is we're gonna set the weight to 0 and the offset to 100, which means that when this switch is in the high position, the only value getting sent is just 2000 microseconds, right? So it's just sending high on this switch here, which means that in Betaflight, you're going to be receiving the same value no matter what the rest of these buttons are doing, right? I'm gonna change these. You'll see channel 8 here, no impact. So that's like our master off. Okay. Now let's add one more. This is going to be our VTX on. Okay, so should be the same 3 position switch, but this time it'll be the position you want it to be in for when you have your VTX on. So that for me is all the way down. So I do, everything is off, is positioned all the way up. Middle is, you can arm, but no video, and then down is VTX on. So I'm gonna set that here, the direction I want it to be, which is down, okay? We're gonna set the, let's see. We're gonna set the weight to 0 and the offset to 5. And essentially what this does is we can detect that we want the VTX on by those ranges that we noticed before. Like, I don't know if you noticed, but the ranges go from 88 to 79, right, to 69. So they're going by 10 each time. What we're doing is when we want it to have the VTX on, we're essentially stepping up half of that range. That's why it's 5%. So it's a 5% offset. And then it pushes through here. And that's it. These 4 things, that's all there is. All of it's in the dock as well. You can change these around however you want. And if you need help, let me or Rob know.